Welcome back to the channel. I'm Crypto Trend Trader, and today we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. But before we get started, I'd like to remind you it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research and trade responsibly. So here we have the Kraken chart on Bitcoin, and as you may have noticed, we did get the breakdown out of the pattern we have been forming. So we got the initial breakdown out of the descending triangle, and we had basically just been traveling around inside this channel here, and we had pushed up once to attempt to get above the 200 moving average, and then we formed the second rally recently, and we were finding support on this upsloping trend line right here. We pushed up and then we topped back out at the green line, so we were bouncing off the blue support line here, and then when we broke down and bounced off the blue, we came back up, touched the green, couldn't get back above it. We didn't even quite make it up to the 200, and then this was our big indication that this right here was the indication the rally was over, because what that is, that's a huge rejection. We push up to higher prices, we reject, and then come down. We had found a little bit of support. We attempted a second push back up, and as soon as we bearishly engulfed that candle up here, that was like confirmation, okay? And that happens all the time. As you can see right here, if you basically take a look, we had the exact same candle pattern forming right here. We push up, we max out, we get immediate sell-off, and then we come back down. And that's the exact same thing right here. It's not as extreme because we don't get the intense sell-off immediately, but you can see we push back down and then we get the sell-off, and that's essentially followed by the continuation dump right here. And when we fall out of the pattern right here, as soon as we get a move down here, you don't even have time to wait for a 4-hour candle close. Like I was saying in that previous video, you get that massive move, and if you weren't already in a position, you're not going to get another chance. So we got the sell-off, we come down here, and we basically have this huge channel, this descending channel that's been forming throughout the entire basically since we topped out over here around 14,000. So we came down, touched it a couple times. We made it almost to the bottom right here, but then we didn't quite get it because we were getting held up by this green line. That green support line comes way, way, way back, and it comes all the way up from the bull run. That's like a parabolic support line. So when we come back down below it and then we couldn't get back above it, and then obviously we see like the candle patterns developing. We start coming down here. This is when we got out of our long position. We didn't get out all the way here at the top because we thought at that point in time, by the time we were above the moving averages, that we were going to come up to the 200, because that would be the next realistic resistance zone. But when we flipped the parabolic SAR right here, and when we came down below that previous candle right here, that was our signal from the market to get out of this basically to get out of this position. It was right in this area right here. So after the dump comes down here, what we were expecting to do was find support at either one of those fib levels we had previously discussed, or as you can see, we stopped right down here at these at the channel basically support zone here. So you can see you have one at the top and one at the bottom, and then you have the actual channel top and bottom, and then you have the central portion. So we're right here at the bottom. So you can see previously when we came down here, we got a bounce up off of it. We still have about 3 minutes left on this candle right here, and we've gotten absolutely no bounce. So typically when you get a sell-off like this and you don't even get any wicket at all, there's no indecision here or anything like that. It's confirmation to the market that we're going to continue selling off. So the way this looks, assuming nothing happens crazy in the next 3 minutes and this just all of a sudden gets bought back up, when you get a solid red candle sell off like this and no wick at the bottom, or a solid green move up and no wick at the top, you can expect there to be continuation. So, and what I would expect at this point in time is just like we had discussed previously. We're looking for essentially that fib zone, that fib target. We're looking for the bottom of the channel. We're looking for the fib area right around 7,000. We had talked about that. I can switch over in a minute, but I did want to discuss something else really quick while we're here on the Jewel. We had talked about how much more reliable these signals are if you're going with the trend. And you'll see you got like the buy signal here, and it was a big drawn out zone. You got the buy signal here, it was a big drawn out zone, and then we finally get that move back up. Here we got that sell-off at the absolute top. We got that sell signal just for a moment. And then what did we do? We got a massive sell after that. So that tells you why these are so much more reliable if you're trading with the trend than if you're trying to counter trend trade. So, and you'll see again, if you were trading these two paired together, especially with the moving averages, once you got the parabolic SAR, this was telling you get out of your position right here. And then you'll see we had gotten the red. Once we got two reds in a row on the TJD, TD, MACD, we knew to get out of the position. And then again, you see, I mean, once we had that red trending below the blue, trending below the purple, you know, on the TJD Jewel, we had already gotten the sell signal right here, distribution zone. I mean, market was screaming dump here. So, you know, this candle, though, should have been the initial because it looks so much similar to this one over here, too. You know, and depending on which exchange you're on, too, it was more extreme on different ones. But here you can see we're about to put this in here, and that's going to be the wrap. But I just wanted to about to close the 12 o'clock. I just want to switch back over and show this fib zones real quick. The 236 and the 618 both come in at exactly the same spot at 71.75. So we're expecting somewhere around 71.75, and we're expecting a continuation off of this. I mean, we might get it on this next 4-hour candle. We could come down even below it. We could get front run by it, but that's our target right here. And then we expect to see a move back up from there. And typically what happens a lot of time with these moves is once we calm down and we get this sell-off, we'll get the second sell-off right here. So if we get the continuation down, and then we might come back up and test this trend line. You know, we might come down here, sell, and then come back and test that trend line and try to see if we can get back inside that channel. Because we basically busted out of the channel here, and then we came back down and busted back out of the bottom. It was like a fake out move. That's a spring up, and then it sells off down to the bottom. And then again, you'll see here, it was the same thing. We got the spring up right here, like it was going to move back up off support, and then immediately got the dump after that. So it's very unforgiving right there. And you'll see, yeah, we're immediately getting sell-off continuation. So we'll have to see how this goes over the next 4 hours. I mean, we're definitely like showing some bottoming signals from the market here, but I would expect if we're going to bottom off of a key support zone. I do want to just zoom out here real quick and just show where we're at in the swing of things. If you look though right here, what we broke through with that candle is we broke through this area of support right here. So now we still have this area right here, but what I would expect to happen just looking at this alone is I would expect us to come down to 6850 to 6600 range and retest the bottom supports. So if we break out of this 7250, if we break through that zone we're looking for, I would expect it to come down here and test that next one. And I mean, if we could potentially get a powerful move back down, or we could get a powerful bounce, but I think after this much consolidation and then that sell-off and then this much consolidation and that sell-off, I would expect us to either get continuation down right here or continue to just range now inside of our new range where the basically 7900 range is going to be our maximum, our top. We're not going to be able to get back above that support that we broke down through, and then again we'll form a new area of support down here wherever it chooses to stop at, if it's 6,700 or 7,200, wherever it is. So, but you know, based on the indicators and everything, you can see a lot of different areas that were pointing to this move before it happened. So, you know, you want to just keep an eye out for them, and even if you don't catch every single move, it's important that you can look back and identify what the market was telling you, you know, whether you took the signal or whether you took the trade or not, because you're not going to make every trade, but there's always another one coming. So, and here you'll see we're getting the continued sell-off, and again, I would expect us to come down here to one of those key ranges. There is a good possibility, you know, that that's going to put us right down here at the bottom of the channel at that $6,800 range, but we're basically looking to accumulate in this green box area. And if it looks like it's going to turn around before then, you know, obviously we'll play that by ear as well. And I suspect most altcoins are going to sell off with Bitcoin, and then we'll have to kind of see what Bitcoin does to see where we can expect the altcoins to go after that. So there we have it, guys. That's the 12 hour and 4 hour daily close, or 12 hour and 4 hour close. It's noon right now my time. And you'll see we got that massive sell-off. We're getting our continuation right now. And I think most realistically, we can expect to either find support right down here in this 72.50 range or sell off down here the remainder of the way down here. Let's just pull this up one more time. The 236 and 618 is coming in right here at 71.68. So that's going to be our next target. But again, we're looking for 4-hour close confirmation before we go to play any bounces or anything like that, other than just like a quick scalp. So there you have it, guys. Crypto trend trader, Bitcoin after the big break, and we'll see how it consolidates from here and what we can expect to happen, and play that next move accordingly. So crypto trend trader signing off.